making one of my favorite granola bar recipes. I've been making this one in my kitchen for many, many, many years, even before the nut butters had started. Like I mentioned earlier, I always like to make healthy foods delicious and find ingredients and recipes that my family will enjoy and I feel good about. So this granola bar recipe is my grab and go granola bar. It's really simple to make. It is a baked bar recipe, so you will want to preheat the oven to about 350. I always mix in the wet ingredients first, so I start with my nut butter, and you can actually use any of the flavors, even the savory one, the cashew butter. I'm using the almond butter with the cinnamon and chia seed today because it depends what you mix in with it, but I use about a half a cup of this. And you can mix the butter. Sometimes I do half peanut and half sunflower seed butter, so it's really versatile. I add, the sweetness comes from honey, and I only use a quarter cup of honey, so there's not a lot, but this actually helps hold the bar together. Yeah. And then I add an egg, and you could do an egg substitute if you have someone in your family that can't do eggs, so you can do like a flaxseed type of egg substitute, 1 egg. And then you use a quarter teaspoon of a pink Himalayan salt. I prefer pink Himalayan just because I think it adds a little sweetness. I don't know if you've ever had the pink Himalayan salt compared to just a white table salt. There's a lot of minerals in it too, is another reason I like to use that. And I actually do homemade vanilla. I do too. So this is my homemade vanilla. Sometimes you can, do other flavor extracts, like I have a hazelnut flavor. Sometimes I will put that in as well. And then it's 2 tablespoons of oil. And I use either a canola oil, a grapeseed oil, or coconut oil, and I mix it up depending on what I happen to have at the house. And that's it for the wet ingredients. So after you get the wet ingredients all incorporated, it's going to be a mixture like this. Then you start adding the dry ingredients. So I add chia seeds to everything, even eggs in the morning. So you add about 2 tablespoons of a chia seed, or if you don't have chia, you could certainly put hemp seed in, but I always like to incorporate some sort of functional food seed. I also add walnuts. So you can add any other type of nut. I just prefer the walnuts because I love the crunchiness.
So it sounds like this is really good for protein with the egg.
It is. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So definitely a good morning grab and go breakfast bar if you don't have time to actually eat breakfast. This is a combination of oats and a Rice Krispie. So it's equal amounts at 1.5 cup of oats, 1.5 cup of the Rice Krispie. And we add that in, and then the good stuff. So you could add any other mix-in that you want. I use dark chocolate chips. You use about a half a cup worth. And then I always add a dried fruit. My daughter loves cran raisins or raisins, so you could add either one. You don't have to add a dried fruit. Sometimes I add goji berries for something a little bit different. We use about a half a cup of that. And those are all the ingredients. And so all we do is we just stir them together until they're all incorporated. And then you're going to spray your pan and pat them down in the pan so they're nice and even. And then it bakes for about 18 minutes, so it doesn't take very long. You cut them out in little granola bar shape sizes, and I wrap each one individually and pop them in the freezer. And we eat off of them for about a week, but they're simply delicious.
Awesome. Yeah, looks like something you'd get at the store right there.